So we won't be doing anything outside today. Just saying. Hey everybody, Lumpy Q here. Doing my weekly marinara. What I have here is I have a little over a quarter of a large red onion, a couple of shallots, a handful of cloves, garlic. Got some real nice tomatoes this morning, Romas. I'm going to wash those up. I'm going to give them a little prep and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Of course, I have the fresh basil, and I like to add this Rotel, the original. Good stuff. I'm going to use about 3/4 of a can of tomato paste. Let me get this stuff washed up. I'm going to prep up a couple of these, show you what I'm going to do. We're going to do a concasse, and then we're going to get those out. We're going to give them a chop, and I'll show you what's going to happen. Okay, so what I do, I've seen it done a lot of different ways, is I get in there, I take that core out, not the whole core, just the top, give it a little X on the bottom. And I'll get that into the water. I got quite a few there, so I'm probably going to do it in 3 batches. Boiling salted water, I throw the cover on a minute, maybe a minute, and they are peeling themselves. You know, you dump them in hot water, they pretty much peel themselves. I got the veggies chopped, I got my red onion, my scallion, and my garlic. I leave them fairly large because those are going to go through the motorboat after. And let me switch this camera around and we'll see if we can get you a good view of that. Alright, we're steaming real good now, so you want that water to come to a hard boil. You want to hit it with some salt, kosher salt. These are pretty big. I think I'm going to get 5. Screw it. Get them all in. Cover them up. Might overcrowded. It's going to take a minute. Maybe a minute and a quarter. And what I have here is I have a ice bath. You want plenty of water for that. So we'll just give it a minute. So I do this at least once a week, you know, for pasta dishes. But I keep a simple marinade. I keep it light, and after I figure out what I know I'm going to do, depending upon, you know, if it's just you know, a light pasta sauce, or if I want to do a heavier pasta sauce, you know, because I use a bucatini or something like that for the heavier versions. I'll add ground meat, sausage, meatballs, you know, whatever. Or I keep it on the light side, and then it's nice for like brujol, you know, laid in the bottom of that, or even a lasagna. Lasagna, I would add a little bit of ground chuck in there, and probably some slices of sweet Italian sausage. So we're back up to a rolling boil here. I got one peeling already in there. Like I said, once you hit these with the water, and they start peeling themselves. You see that? Them puppies are out of there. Oh, and that one hit the floor. Let's try one at a time, idiot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the rest of these going. I'm going to show you how I chop them. And before I get too carried away with putting them back in, I'm going to get the red onion, the garlic, and the shallot in the pan to get started. So let me just keep going with these. Hot, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so let me show you what I do. I cut it in half. And then what I do is I have a bowl with a strainer, and I just give them a squeeze. Because I want to save that juice, but I don't want all those seeds. Nobody wants all those seeds. Of course, my buddy Mikey, God rest his soul, he would. And he'd give me hell for doing this, but that's just the way he rolled. So, I do that, and I strain that off. And I just get all that out till it's just seed. And then what do? Is I miss one. But I give it a rough chop, because like I said, this is going through the motorboat later. Not real worried about it. So, I had 14 of them. You saw, I lost one. But that's okay. I got plenty here. As it turns out, it's only going to be me again this week. Old lady's going back to Connecticut tomorrow. Her Aunt May is in really, really tough shape. They actually had the priest there this morning. Not looking good. So she's going back home. I'll be going down later in the week, depending upon what the arrangements are. It's not good, but I'll be back. All right, so I threw my onions and scallions and shallots in there. Had them in for about a minute. Boy, does this place smell good already. I told y'all before I drive the neighbors nuts. So I'm just wilting them down for another 10 seconds, and I go in with all the tomatoes that I did the concassé. I could say it, but don't ask me to spell it, you know. I'm a cabinet maker, not an English major, but I hit a little salt, a little pepper, not a whole lot. So, in with the tomatoes. Now I got that heat cranking. I'm going to give it a quick stir. And then cover her up. This is going to help break it down a little bit. And then what I do is I hit it with some Italian seasoning, whatever you like. This works for me. I'll probably hit it with a little more salt, touch of pepper, and then once I get some, it'll have a little juice in the bottom. I don't know, after those tomatoes break down. Then I hit it with the tomatoes paste, and I let that roll for a little bit. And what I did is that's all the pulp that I took out, and I strained it off, and I've got, I don't know if you can see that, but I got quite a bit of juice just out of that. So I'll add that, a little water with that to help concentrate that tomato paste a little bit. And then I go in with the basil. Now, I saved some for the very end, because like I said, I'm going to motorboat this. So I saved some that I just end up floating in the top later. I'm sorry, before I motorboat it, I'm going to add the Rotels original. I really like this stuff. I haven't been using it that long, but I wish I had. I mean, really, really good stuff. This is the original diced tomato and green chili. Adds that little bit of a heat, and the old lady actually even liked that. You know, 'cause she's not a big heat person, although she is hot. But anyway, all right, you can see I've already getting some juice down there. I'm going to give it another real good stir. Throw that lid back on just for another minute or so. And then I'm going to add the paste and some water. And then I'm going to let that cook for a while. You know, and in between I'm going to add the basil. I'm going to add the Rotel. The Italian seasoning is going to be going in soon. And I'm just going to let that go for a while. And I'll be back to show you how I finish it up, motorboat it, although y'all probably know how to do that. See, I just keep saying y'all. I spent a week in Lake Wiley, South Carolina, just before Christmas, and all of a sudden I'm a Southerner. I don't know. Tell you what, good bunch of people down there though. I'd move down there in a heartbeat. Trouble is, you know, I've got a good job. It's hard to find, you know, a position that I have, you know, in a smaller company. You know, I mean, you know, I'm the second guy now. So, you know, a lot of responsibilities, but he treats me right, pays me real well. And so I'll be hard pressed to do any moving. But I do want to semi-retire down there, and that's where the Q comes in. You know, Lumpy's been my nickname for a lot of years. And I added the Q because that's what I like. So there you have it. I will be back at some point. Okay, so I'm exactly a half hour with this. I'm going to go probably another half hour. I'm going to really tip that lid though, because I want this to reduce slightly. But it's looking pretty good right now. Smelling incredible, as it always does. I hear the neighbors, they come in and they stop at my door. I think I can hear them sniffing, but I'm not sure. But so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to knock it back slightly. Give it a tip maybe like that. Get that steam a little on it, and then I'm going to put the spurs to it. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to throw that Rotel in first, and then throw the spurs to it. Mix it all up. I'm just going to tear some of. I chiffonaded the basil prior, but then I'm just going to tear this off after I get it all mixed up, and then I'm going to leave it on low for probably another 10 minutes. Just take it off, let it sit before I package it up and put it in the fridge. This is not going to be dinner. Like I said earlier, the wife has been gone almost 2 weeks. She came back, I picked her up on, I forget now, must have been Thursday. I picked her up Thursday night, brought her back home, and like I said, her aunt and godmother is not doing well, so we're going to head back down there tomorrow. So I asked her what she wanted for dinner tonight, and she loves my chicken piccata over angel hair, so that's what I'm going to do for her. I think, I don't know, maybe we'll get it on film, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see, but I'll be back. Alright, so last little segment. It's been well over a half hour. It's reduced half to 3/4 of an inch. I threw the Rotel in there and I tasted it, and I like it. So let's do this up. You know, not too much. You want to leave a little chunk in there. Leave a little chunk in there. And that's it. See how I still got a little basil hanging out there? I like that. I'm just going to give that another quick taste. See the consistency of that? There's no seeds, there's no skin, that's all tomato. Well, an onion and scallops, shallots, scallion, basil, and garlic. Oh yeah. So this is going to just sit on top, tear that right off. The old lady, she likes bigger pieces. but I'm not sure if she's going to get any of this. Like I said, we're going to do the chicken piccata tonight, and that's a great dish. I love the capers, the lemon, the wine, the everything. So that's it. Just so you know, the first part, the prep part in the morning, or the first part of it, a little time consuming, a little messy, but I'll tell you what, did you notice I boated that thing and I don't have a mess around the stove? And that's highly unusual, so I get an attaboy for that. Alright, I'm shutting that down. Man, that looks good. I'm going to shut that down, leave it cracked a little bit. And I think that's just salt. Cleaning lady comes Friday. And hopefully I'll do that the chicken piccata thing for you all tonight. See ya.